as Pastor Beck said, I'm Sheila Helgerson, and I am the Executive Director for United Ministries in Earl's Place. And I want to thank Barbara and Pastor Rex for inviting me and Bob to be here today. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to share with you a little bit about what we're doing and where we're going. United Ministries is a housing and social justice organization, and we're committed to assisting men who are homeless who want to change their lives and to changing community attitudes about the homeless. Generally, I bring people with me who are in the program now and who are, talking about how grateful they are. But today I brought Bob, and Bob was in the program, but he's been out for a number of years, and so he's going to share with you. And I thought it's good for you to be able to see somebody who's gone through the program and who still is doing well, and that it really does work, and not just in the short term, but in the long term. So I also want to thank all of you for being so faithful with your support of us and of me. We're really grateful for that, and I filled up my back of my car this morning already, so that was great. Thank you. United Ministries was started by the United Church of Christ. It was started by a group of UCC people who were serving at the Supper Club, which is a soup kitchen at First United Evangelical United Church of Christ in Fells Point. And they've been serving now for almost 25 years. But a number of years back, they were looking around thinking, it's great that they're feeding people every week, but what else could they do? And once they did that and started really discerning what the needs were, this was back in 1993, they found that men were being underserved. And so they decided to start a transitional housing program for men. Transitional housing means that it's not a shelter per se. It's long-term housing. The men can stay with us for up to 2 years, which gives them a really good opportunity to get themselves back on their feet, back into society, and hopefully into positive, productive things. If you complete our program, that's what happens. You're going to be moving into an apartment. You're going to have some place to live, and you're going to have some stability in your life. 2 years is not a long time when you look at how long people have been out using drugs or being homeless, but it's a good start to getting you back on your feet and where you need to be. So this group of people decided that they wanted to start a transitional housing program. They searched around, they found properties. We're located at 1400 East Lombard Street, which is right near Little Italy and Cormie Grove area. And they purchased the properties and started renovations in 1995, I think. So this is 2 row houses that were combined into one large building now to house us. We serve 17 men at a time. So we have, we have 13 single bedrooms and we have 2 double bedrooms. We have one that is handicapped accessible. We have space for a resident manager who lives there, so there's somebody on site nights and weekends. And then we have 2 offices for the rest of us to squeeze into. So we're cramped, but it works out fine. When you come into the building, because I think most of you probably have never been there, and no one really has any picture of what it looks like when you come to our program. When you walk in, you'll walk into a small lobby, and then there's my office, which I share with the Lutheran Volunteer Corps volunteer, and another small office that is shared by the resident managers and the case manager. Fortunately, they all work different hours, so we can shuffle around. And then the rest of the building is for the men. So there's a large common area, which is used as a living room, a dining room, an exercise room, and a meeting room. it's a multi-purpose room for sure. And then, as I said, there's one handicapped accessible room right off of there, and the resident manager's apartment. There's a nice-sized kitchen, which has, in total, we have 4 refrigerators and 2 freezers. Everyone does their own cooking. So each person has a refrigerator space and a cupboard space to keep their food, and then we have house food, as such as what you donate and what I get from the food bank to supplement, because particularly when people come in, often they have nothing. And so we need to be able to give them something to eat and live off of so they can get on their feet. We do some community meals together, but they have to all be able to take care of themselves because it is an independent program. We have 2 washers and 2 dryers, a little storage room, and then the 2nd and 3rd floors are all bedrooms and bathrooms. So we have 8 bathrooms altogether. So 2 or 3 people share a bathroom, and then their rooms are single rooms except for the 2 doubles. So it's cozy and comfortable and nice. The men keep it up very well, so everyone's always amazed at how clean it is, but that's because it's their house. So that's kind of a brief history of how we started. I got involved with United Ministries because I am a UCC member. I go to St. Mark's over in Royal Park. And when they were renovating the building, they were looking for people to help paint the bedrooms. So I volunteered to paint. And that was 15 or so years ago now, and I'm still there. So I painted bedrooms, I served on the board of directors, and then eventually I wrote a grant so that I could get a salary so I could start working there, and have been there ever since. So fortunately for me, because it is perfect, it's a perfect job for me, so I'm thrilled that I've been able to continue to raise money to stay there. The scripture lesson, the gospel reading this morning from Matthew, if you read a little further on, is what the original task force used as their, to develop their mission statement. You were hungry and you fed me. I was hungry and you fed me. I was naked and you clothed me. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. It's a very familiar passage. But that is the passage that they used to start this. So it was interesting this morning that I'm going to talk about Matthew, and that was part of the scriptures. We have a staff, which I mentioned, is myself as the executive director. We have a part-time case manager. We have 2 resident managers, one who is full-time who lives there, and a second who is a relief person, so that Mike, our resident manager who lives there, can get a break now and then. So Gary comes in every other weekend and covers the weekend for Mike. And then we have, as I said, a Lutheran Volunteer Corps volunteer, which this is the second year we've had a person to do that, which has been really great, because they're basically doing marketing for me. So they just said, look, Brian, who was there last year, and now Alethea, I worked on an e-newsletter, and some of those things that I didn't have the time or the skills to do. And so you can find us at earlsplace.org, and you can sign up for our e-newsletter if you'd like to. As I said, we have 17 men, and they can stay for up to 2 years. We've served over 100 men now in the years that we've been doing this, when they've gone on to do all kinds of different things with their lives, which is very exciting. One of the men is now a journalist, but he wrote for me in one of our annual reports and said, dreams become realities because people were told, often more than once, that they could when they thought they couldn't, that the world held a place of dignity for them. So I think that's the most important thing we can do. We provide a place of dignity, a place for opportunities, for people who aren't sure they really know what they want to do. Our average age is about 40, so these are not young people. These are people who have been out there and really done a lot of things. Prison, drugs, alcohol, all of those things. I was with a man yesterday who helped me out with one of the other churches was having a flea market, and we volunteered there, and we were talking, and he's 50 years old, and this is his first attempt at recovery. But he is so sure that he's going to do this, that even his longtime mate, he's not married, but he's been with her for over 30 years, it was still using, and he said, I can't be with you if you don't get into recovery too. So he definitely, that's a hard choice to make. She's a mother of his children, but she's now in recovery, and hopefully she will do as well as he is. I know that you all know that homelessness is on the rise. You hear the news reports as well as I do. We turn away people every day. We have 17 beds. Our waiting list is over 100 people, which is crazy, but we keep telling people our waiting list is too long, we can't put you on, and they keep saying, no, but I want to be on it because I might get in. So that's where we are. As of right now, there's the census for 2011 was 4,088 people homeless on any given night in Baltimore City. And of course, that's not everybody, because those are people that were counted from shelters, transitional programs like ours, people that get fined, but there's lots of people doubled up or somewhere that you can't necessarily see them. So that's the bad news, but the good news is that we are making a difference. It's small, but it is a difference, and for those that do well and go on, they affect others in the community, their families, and us, because they're not part of the system anymore. And so even though it seems very daunting sometimes, it really is making a difference. I'm going to let Bob share, and then I just want to close with a couple things. So.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm a recovering alcoholic. didn't know how to take care of myself. And I didn't want to go back to prison, so I don't know, I took I was living out on the streets for about a year, maybe 2 years. And somebody gave me, I was living under a tarp, putting it up anywhere I could when it rained. And then somebody broke down and gave me a tent. And I used to put that tent up. I put it up at night time. And then I get up in the morning to go out and have my drink or my drug or whatever I need. I was taking tear my tent down. Well, I first go have my drink or my drug or whatever I need. And then I go back to my tent and tear it down and put it in the bag and my bedroll and all that. So I was taking to move on. I didn't stay in one place no longer than a night. Because I didn't want nobody to know where I was. I didn't want nobody to be able to find me. So I just kept on going, picking up and going. Never got a grip on nothing. But then I took it, one day I went to, one morning Sunday morning I went to this bar. And I helped close it the night before. Because I knew I ran into some people that would take care of me and help me out and get me drunk. So I helped close the bar. And then this one Sunday morning I got up and decided to go over to this bar and give me a drink because they used to give you these little cups for, you know, like you got one waiting, you got a standby drink. And I had a couple of these cups left that I could go over there and get me my morning drink and stop me from shaking and all that. And then little did I know the guy that I was there with the night before, he took him come walking out of the bar. And he must have got up real early. He got in that bar, he must have been waiting on the bar steps, waiting for the door to open up. Because I was there pretty early too, I was not far from him. But anyway, he come out of the bar and said, "What you want, Bob?" I said, I was Bob then. He said, "What you want, Bob?" And he said, well, I said I was going to go in the bar to have me a morning drink to get me and stop me from shaking. And then he said, "I'll tell you what, Bob, you go up here and sit in church with me for an hour or however long it is, and then I'll get you drunk. We'll come back and get drunk." And you know, I was kind of like pushing him towards the church so we can get this ordeal over with. I didn't really want to go to church because the church might have fell down on me and all these innocent people might have got hurt because of me. But see, that's a myth now. I mean, I understand that that's not true because I made it in that church and came out and nobody got hurt. But I tell you, the only person who really got hurt was me. I didn't get hurt. I got saved. That's what I did. I got saved because